Please subscribe.
Despite needing significantly less than half of the capability of this rickety Type R, our ordinary Civic is way out of staying half too much pleasure to generate. By acquiring both cars and trucks in tandem, Honda has given a great driving household hatchback with a number of those drawbacks related to the fire-breathing range topper. The sexy hatch can be really a staple of their spouse and children 5-door course, as these cars and trucks are made available with soupedup versions for years ahead in Britain. Honda is not any exclusion, having its own brand new Civic. But in lieu of waiting around the normal 1, 2 or even 18 weeks following the introduction of the commonorgarden version to present its sexy hatchback, the Japanese automobile manufacturer introduced its high-value Type R nearly instantaneously. Producing 316 bhp out of the 2.0-liter turbocharged motor, it's significantly more than twice its ability of this modest 1.0-liter version on the fleet. The Type R's competitive bodywork, enormous wing along with 20-inch metal brakes tip in its skill, whilst its double-sided tailpipes render you in no matter their firepower under its sculpted bonnet. Nevertheless, forcing both cars back-to-back ends up several surprises, but not least just how much time they believe by way of a run of springs that are tight. Our ordinary Civic screens exceptional human anatomy controller, and also its particular chassis is effectively functioning. As well as, the steering is candy, and also the well-intentioned suspension is not embarrassing on tougher streets. All with no Type R's suggestion elastic dampers. I am content we picked to get its 6-speed handbook gearbox, in contrast to the city-friendly CVT automobile, due to the fact I'm amazed with the short-throw gear shift. The simple activity is comparable to that of the two-door sports car in relation to the usual 5-seat household hatchback, also as that you never possess the joy of this Type R's aluminum switch knob, the leather-covered lever is still fine adequate. Yet if you would like to settle back and curl up, the Civic will detract from participating 5-door and cozy cruiser. The little but robust 3-cylinder motor remains silent and comparatively elegant, and minus the sexy hatchback's standard fit athletics exhaust along with enormous rims, you are spared from side motor and highway noise on more motorway travels. Over the recent journey back home to Newcastle, information editor Jonathan Byrne handled a formidable 47 miles per gallon too. Its width of all skills is equally notable. You'll find meters which are beginning to frustrate, yet the overactive crash warning process is still just one, the fiddly infotainment strategy just another. Even a modest 46-liter gas tank signifies all too frequent journeys into the gas station. Way too. Practicality can be still a powerful lawsuit, however, without a thing what variant to decide on, SR or Type R, you are going to gain out of an enormous 478-liter boot along with large rear chair seat. Thus, even though the Civic passing up to the Type R's out-and-out functionality, it will exhibit a number of the very same features, and that is good news for those who cannot extend into the full-scale hot hatch variant. In the event that you had been requested to call Britain's most famous household car, you probably think about the Volkswagen Golf or even Ford Focus. However, while both have offered within their countless as launching, the Honda Civic's roots may be tracked all of the way straight back again to 1972. Currently in its 10th creation, the Civic is just visible from your cunning and streamlined initial. Also, there is absolutely no denying that the brand new version appears distinguishing with its more mundane predecessor. Honda's designers have thrown off the rulebook for your most current car or truck, and also its particular sharp outlines, adventuresome creases and sloping roof line have already been creating disagreement from the Auto Express off-ice. To observe whether the automobile's attention runs longer than skin deep, we have inserted a fresh Civic SR into your fleet. We are going to be analyzing it on the subsequent 6 weeks to observe what it really is like to stay with. We have plumbed for the entry 127 bhp 1.0-liter 3-cylinder turbo engine, in accordance with Honda's charming 6-speed handbook gearbox. Our mid-spec SR car or truck comes laden using all equipment. To discuss throughout the normal apparel list, we combined overall sales supervisor Matthew Scott in Civic Honda at Southwest London to get the complete rundown. His excitement for its newest Civic was evident from the beginning. It's a massive improvement on the older automobile, he instructed us. The single real option in our Civic may be that the white orchid pearl paint. It fees number 525 and seems amazing if it is glossy tidy. Elsewhere, Scott pointed from that the SR's conventional 17-inch metal brakes, all-purpose parking detectors and 7-inch touchscreen sat-nav, Android Auto and also Apple CarPlay are well fitted as normal, and also significantly boost connectivity choices. Utilizing sat-nav throughout my mobile is very good, as the Civic's infotainment technique gives off ground into the very best cars available on the current market, like the Golf and movie. Throughout the earnings booklet proves that many Civics receive yourself a plethora of basic safety alternatives, for example lane passing awake, flexible cruise control and automated emergency braking. However, the oversensitive crash warning process has been already receiving on our nerves. More importantly, at upcoming record. Additional noteworthy kit in our SR car or truck consists of dark back privacy glass along with body-colored, electrically folding door mirrors, in addition to a convenient turning camera along with LED daylight running lights. In the event you'd like entire LED headlamps, but you will need to measure until the more costlier, pricier X variant. For number 20,340, the Civic SR signifies adequate value for money. Even nevertheless, Honda reckons you are able to fund you to only number $209 a month, more than 3 years now, having a deposit of only around number $5,000. That is no form more compared to the usual lower-powered Golf 1.0 TSI 110 at SE navigation trimming, but 2-zone local weather controller, a rear-view digicam along with sour glass are all added around the VW. In the event you have got less to pay, Honda now supplies S and SSE specs to the 1.0 Litre vehicle. Although maybe not just could it be filled using apparel, it is actually best to operate a vehicle. The smooth and short 6-speed change can be really a joy to utilize, whereas the more heavy, tight and set-up human body controller allow it to be a really pleasurable car or truck to tip by way of a succession of corners. The 127 bhp motor is the selection, supplying incredibly peppy overall performance without tremendous conducting fees. We are tackling 47.7 miles per gallon, thus considerably. However, over a more steady speed travel to Cornwall, this nudged 58.5 miles per gallon. Our artwork manager Darren Wilson commended the automobile's usefulness and relaxation, hauling his love within the 600-mile round trip using distance to spare.